If you still struggle to get tools in 𝗦𝗦𝗍, you are not unlucky, you are just playing against the system instead of using it. Today I'm not giving you some basic weeding advice, I'm giving you hidden mechanics, reset exploits, market psychology, baby farm tricks, and drop manipulation strategies. Some of these can literally double your daily tools. Trick number 1. Understand the 𝗬𝗎 reset rule. Before trying to exploit a system in the game, the first thing you need to do is understand how it actually works. In 𝗦𝗍𝗍, every player has a daily purchase limit of 80 expansion materials from the roadside shop within a 24-hour period. These 80 items include barn tools, silo tools, town tools, and land expansion materials. Once you reach the limit, you won't be able to buy any more expansion items from other players until the limit resets. If you want to check your progress, it's very simple. Just tap your level star in the top left corner, then open the middle tab. Scroll down a bit and you'll see your daily purchase limit status, which shows exactly how many items you have bought and how much time is left before your limit resets. The important thing to know is that this limit resets at midnight UTC based on the game's server time. That means every player in the world resets at the exact same moment regardless of their local time. Understanding this reset timing is the foundation of the strategy, because once you know when the limit refreshes, you can plan exactly when to buy tools again. Trick number 2. The 79-80-89 trick. Now that you understand how the daily purchase limit works in 𝗦𝗍𝗍, we can start exploiting it. This is one of the most famous strategies in the game, and players usually call it the 79-80 trick or the 89 trick. The reason it works comes down to how the server checks the purchase limit. The game does not block a purchase while it is happening. Instead, it only checks before you start buying an item. That small detail creates a loophole that smart players can take advantage of. So here's what happens. As you buy expansion tools from the roadside shop throughout the day, the game keeps counting them toward your daily limit. Normally, once you reach 80 items, the shop becomes locked and you can't purchase any more tools from other players. But the key moment is 79 items. At 79 out of 80, the game still considers you under the limit, which means the shop is still fully active and you are still allowed to make one more purchase. This is where the trick happens. Instead of buying a single tool, you look for a shop that is selling a full stack of 10 expansion materials. This could be something like 10 planks, 10 bolts, or 10 deeds, anything. You can coordinate this with a baby farm or a trusted trading partner so that you know exactly where the stack will be. When you purchase that full stack, the game allows the entire transaction to go through. It doesn't split the stack or stop halfway. Because you started the purchase while you were still at 79, the server processes all 10 items. That means your final count doesn't stop at 80, it jumps all the way to 89 tools for that day. In other words, you effectively gain 9 extra expansion materials beyond the official daily limit. And while 9 extra tools might not sound huge at first, the numbers add up very quickly. If you perform this trick every single day, you are gaining 63 additional tools every week, completely outside the normal cap. Over time, that difference is massive. It can mean upgrading your barn or silo days earlier than other players who are stuck following the normal limit. And once you combine this trick with proper reset timing, you unlock an even more powerful strategy that can double the number of tools you get in a single session. Trick number 3. The double dip strategy. Now that you already understand the 79-80 rule, there is a much more powerful strategy that advanced players use, and it's called the double dip. This trick is all about timing the daily reset in 𝗦𝗍𝗍. Instead of using the 79-80 trick once per day, the idea is to use it twice within minutes by playing around the exact moment the server resets. Here's how it works. Right before the daily reset, usually in the final 5 to 10 minutes of the server day, start buying expansion tools from the roadside shop and push your purchase counter close to the limit using the method you learned earlier. This is the first tip. Then the moment the reset happens, the entire purchase counter instantly goes back to 0. The game basically treats it like a completely new day, and this is where the magic happens. Because your limit just refreshed, you can immediately start buying tools again using the same strategy. That becomes the second tip. By doing this before and after the reset, players can collect over 160 expansion items within a few minutes. Sometimes that would normally take days of shop hunting or weeding. But don't do this randomly. Time the double dip right before a barn or silo upgrade. The reason is simple. Most farms cannot store 150 or more tools at once. So the usual strategy is to perform the first dip, immediately upgrade the barn or silo to clear space, and then perform the second dip right after the reset. In just few minutes, you can complete upgrades that normally take an entire week of grinding. Another reason you should use the double dip is for baby farm transfers. If a secondary farm has been collecting tools for weeks, you can't move hundreds of tools in one day because of the purchase limit. But by buying tools right before and after the reset, you can move a huge amount of materials much faster. Once you understand how powerful reset timing is, the tool economy in 𝗦𝗂𝗧 starts to make a lot more sense. But the next trick might surprise you even more because it involves manipulating the game's drop system itself to influence which tools you receive. Trick number 4. Drop system manipulation. Have you ever noticed how you'll have 50 boards but can't find a single plank to save your life? That's not bad luck, it's the 𝗦𝗂𝗧 algorithm at work. The game is actually programmed to give you more of what you already have in abundance. It identifies your common items and keeps dropping it, while the tools you really need appear far less often. Now compare that to this. Here in my silo, you can see a balanced tool inventory. The numbers of each tool are relatively close to each other. When your tools are balanced like this, the system no longer detects a strong bottleneck, which means your drops are much more likely to grow in a healthy way instead of repeating the same item. And this is actually intentional game design. The system pushes extra drops of your common tool because it wants to encourage trading between farmers. So instead of fighting the system, you can use it to your advantage. What you want to do is balance your inventory manually. You can do it by trading or transferring tools from your baby farm. For example, when you transfer a large batch of tools, make sure you do not transfer the tools you already have a lot of. Instead, focus on buying the tools your main farm is missing. By doing this, you are filling the gaps in your inventory and slowly bringing the numbers closer together. Once your inventory becomes balanced again, the game's drop bias resets and the items that were previously rare start appearing much more frequently. In other words, by controlling your inventory balance, you are actually influencing the system to start giving you the tools you need. Trick number 5. Baby farm paper scooping. The final trick is something a lot of experienced players quietly use, and it's called baby farming. If you have played 𝗦𝗧𝗧 for a while, you have probably noticed that finding expansion tools in the newspaper can feel almost impossible. The moment you click on it, the tools are already gone. But here's the interesting part. The newspaper isn't exactly the same for every player. Lower level farms actually see a smaller pool of items in their daily dirt. Because the item pool is smaller, expansion materials appear much more frequently compared to higher level farms where the newspaper is flooded with advanced products. This is where a baby farm becomes extremely powerful. A baby farm is simply a secondary account, usually around level 7 to level 22, that you use to help your main farm. When you open the newspaper on a baby farm, you'll notice something surprising. Tools appear far more often than they do on higher level farms. So what many experienced players do is browse the newspaper on their baby farm first. Because the daily farm has its own daily purchase limit of 80 expansion materials, you can use it to scoop up every bolt, plank, or tape you find in the newspaper. Once your baby farm's barn fills up with tools, you simply transfer them to your main farm. And this strategy gives you two huge advantages. First, your baby farm acts like an overflow warehouse. You can store extra tools safely on your baby farm until you are ready to use them. Second, it improves your probability of finding tools in the newspaper. Because the baby farm sees a simpler version of the newspaper, it becomes a powerful scouting tool for finding items that your main farm might rarely see. This method is called paper scooping, and once you start using it, you'll realize how much easier it becomes to locate tools in the newspaper. And honestly, there are still several more hidden strategies to get tools faster in 𝗦𝗧𝗧, including some advanced shop snipping tricks and timing methods. But this video is already getting long, so if you want to see those strategies, I'll cover them in part 2. If this video helped you, make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss it.